Hello everyone, welcome back. Today again we are going to deal with the second session of ancient civilization. In our session 1 we have studied about Egypt civilization, Chinese civilization and Mesopotamian civilization. Now in this session we are going to study about Greek civilization, Roman civilization and Harappan civilization. One by one we shall start studying. Let us first study about Greek civilization. Greek is a peninsula in the Mediterranean Sea. Peninsula in the sense a small land almost everywhere covered by water, and also Greek, it is a land which is almost covered by water and hence called as what? Peninsula in the Mediterranean Sea. Small mountains and valleys have separated Greeks from one another. How Greek is being separated from one another? Because of the mountains and small valleys in between them. Greeks belong to Indo-European race. See, Greeks belongs to which race? They belong to the Indo-European race, that is the mixture of Indian European race, that is Indo-European race. Which are their tribes, different types, that is the Alians and Ionians and the Dorians are the different tribes of ancient Greeks. See, there will be different tribes, right? Among those tribes, these are the different three tribes of ancient Greek. Rise of city-states. Let us know how these cities then go on developed as states, means from small village to how it is being developed to the states. So first I said about Greek civilization. Next we are going to study about rise of city states, how it has been developed, means how from a smaller village that has been grown into the bigger states. 3,000 years ago, every village of Greek had a king and a council of elders to advise him. See, around 3,000 years ago, what had happened actually? Each and every small village of Greek had its own king and its own advisory group, means the village and the king of one particular village, the king of that village and the advisors of that king. That was happened in each and every village. But later on what happened? As the trade between them increased, the villages slowly became towns and later large cities. See, as the trade between the people of different villages increased, what happened? The villages grown up, developed into towns and then to the larger cities. These cities became city-states. See, from the growth of from being to the village, they later keeping on growing, they reached to which states, like which how much they have grown up to the city states. Each city state had its own army, administration and guardian deities. See, each city state, it had its own army, its own administration and its guardian cities. Though they were independent states, they were culturally united. Of course, those cities of Greek, they were different. They had their own army, administration and guardians. But how they were united? They were united, they were unified with the culture. They were culturally united. Athens and Sparta are the most influential city-states. Which are the two states which had a lot of influence on the other cities? They are the two city-states. Which are those two city-states? They are Athens and Sparta. They were the more two important cities which led influence on all other cities. Now let us study about political history, that is about the political history of Greek civilization. What is that political history? Let us first study about Athens, the first city state, that is Athens. Athens was an ideal city state and had democracy. See, why Athens was an ideal city state? Because it had its democracy. Clisthenes overthrew the kingship of Athens 2500 years ago and laid down the base of democracy. What happened? Who overthrew this Athens, or who conquered over Athens? Clisthenes. They overthrew the kingship of Athens around how many years back? Around 2500 years ago itself, and laid down the base of democracy. Later, the Pericles period started in Athens. First was about Athens, that was being overthrown by Clisthenes, and again Pericles period started in Athens. His period is called as the golden period of Athens. See, Pericles period is called as golden period of Athens. Why it is called the golden period of Athens? Because science, art, literature and philosophy reached their pinnacle during his time. Means science, art, literature, philosophy, everything reached to the highest level of success during this Pericles period, and hence that is why it is called as golden period of Athens. Pericles called Athens as the school of Hellas. The Pericles, they called Athens with one more name, and that is the school of Hellas. Now let's next go to the Sparta. What it is? Sparta was the city of Dorians, and it was a military state. Sparta, it was whose city? City of Dorians. They are a particular kind of tribes, right? Dorians, they are one particular kind of tribes. This city belonged to those Dorians, and it was a what kind of state? It was a military state. When Persian king Darius waged war on Greece, Sparta and Athens rallied together and defeated Persia in the Marathon War. See, what happened actually was Persian king Darius, they had war on Greece. So what happened during that time? Sparta and Athens, they together defeated Persia in that Marathon War. Later what happened actually is there was a conflict, there was a fight between Sparta and Athens, and finally the Sparta won. That is why Athens was being surrendered, or surrendered to whom? For these Sparta. Finally Athens lost and became a part of Sparta. Now let us study about the contribution of Greeks. That is, what are the contributions of people of Greece? The contribution of Greeks to the ancient world was enormous. See, to the ancient world, to the historic world, Greeks have contributed a lot. There is an enormous contribution of the people of Greek. There is a temple of Zeus in Olympia. See, we find one temple of Zeus in Olympia. All the city-states participated in the Olympic Games, which was organized in Olympia. See, all the city-states of Greeks, they all participated in the games of that is in the Olympic Games, which was organized by this place called Olympia. Now, most of the countries participate in the modern Olympic Games. Now, we all are very much familiar with these Olympic Games, that is modern Olympic Games. The contribution to the field of philosophy by Greeks is of immense value. See, Greeks, they have also contributed in the field of philosophy. Socrates was the renowned Greek philosopher. We all know this name very well, Socrates. He is a very well-known Greek philosopher. His student and the follower was Plato. We also know about Plato, who was the student and follower of Socrates. And again, his disciple, that is disciple of Socrates, was Aristotle the Great. He was the disciple of Socrates. This is one of the memorable master-disciple traditions in the world. We do not find any much of this much of a memorable master-disciple and follower like this of these theories, Socrates and then Plato and Aristotle. Plato established an educational institution called academy. See, Plato, he established one educational institution, and what was the name of that educational institution? It is academy. Demosthenes was an expert orator. See, Demosthenes, who was he? He was an expert orator. Homer, a blind poet, wrote 2 epics. See, there is a poet who was blind and his name is Homer. He wrote 2 epics, 2 long poems. What are those poems? Iliad and the Odyssey. These were the 2 epics written by the blind poet whose name is Homer. The father of history, Herodotus, and Thucydides were great historians. We all know Herodotus is the father of history, and one more person, Thucydides, they were the great historians. Aeschylus, Sophocles, and Euripides were great dramatists. See, these 3 were the people, they were great dramatists. They have immensely contributed to the world literature. See, they have contributed a lot to the literature world. The Temple of Athena, the Parthenon, which was built by Pericles, is the best example of Greek architecture. There is a temple of Athena. What it is? What is the name? The Parthenon. It was built by Pericles. What is? It is the best example of Greek architecture. It tells how the architecture of Greek was. The Greek sculptures express the natural human body and its structure. See, Greek sculpture, what they express, what they show? They show the natural human body and its structure. Myron was the best known sculptor and Polygnotus was a famous painter. Myron, he was a very well known sculptor of this Greek civilization, and also Polygnotus, he was a famous painter. Euclid and Pythagoras were renowned mathematicians. We all very well know about these 2 people, that is Euclid and Pythagoras. They were the renowned mathematicians of this Greek civilization. The father of medicine, Hippocrates, was also a Greek. See, the father of medicine, who is he? Hippocrates. He also belonged to this Greek. Greeks were victorious in the Battle of Marathon against Persians 2500 years ago. Philippides ran 24 miles to convey this message of victory and died after communicating the message. In his memory, marathon race was included in Olympics. See, now we all know about the marathon race in this Olympic, but what is the actual history of this marathon race? That is, the actual history is that Greeks, they won, they got victory over marathons. They got victory in the Battle of Marathon against whom? Against Persians around 2500 years ago. With this victory, who was overwhelmed? Philippides. He was overwhelmed, he was overjoyed. He ran for 24 miles. Imagine, he ran for 24 miles to give this message. But what happened actually is, as soon as he communicated this message, he died. In his memory, this marathon race is going to be conducted in this Olympics. The Macedonian king Philip destroyed the democratic system in Greece. See what happened actually. The king, who is he? The Macedonian king Philip, he destroyed the democracy of system in Greece. His son Alexander was a great conqueror. That is the son of Philip. Who is he? Alexander. He was a great conqueror. At the age of 20, he set out to conquer the whole world. See, Alexander, at the age of 20 itself, he was set out to conquer the entire world. He waged wars against, he fought the wars, he done the wars against Egypt, Babylonia, Persia, and set foot on the Indian soil. He not only fought against Egypt, Babylonia, and Persia, he also stepped a foot in the Indian soil. He built the city of Alexandria in Egypt. See, in Egypt, Alexander built a city called Alexandria. He died on the way back to his country at the age of 32. When he was returning back to his country at the age of 32, he died. This is all about this Greek civilization. Now let us look over Roman civilization, what specialities we have, or what are the good things and what all happened in this Roman civilization. Italy is a peninsula that stretches deeply into the Mediterranean Sea and is to the south of Europe. See, Italy, where it is, again it is a small land surrounded all over by the water. It is deeply into the Mediterranean Sea, and we found it in the south of Europe. The tribal community called Latins had inhabited this land. See, this land of Italy, who habitated? That is a tribal community called Latins. They inhabited this land. Rome was founded about 2500 years ago in the district of Latium, south of the Tiber River. When was this Rome found, or where it is? Rome, it was founded about 2500 years ago in a district of Latium. In which part? In the south of the Tiber River. Romulus and Remus were the ancestors of Romans. See, who were the ancestors or forefathers of Romans? They were Romulus and Remus. Now let us study about the political history of this Roman civilization. Julius Caesar and Augustus Caesar are the most important persons in the political history of Rome. So, who are the more influential or more important person in the political history of Rome? They are Julius Caesar and Augustus Caesar. They are the two most important people in this political history of Rome. Pompey, Crassus, and Julius Caesar formed the first triumvirate in Rome. Triumvirate means three people united together and taking the leadership is called as triumvirate. These three, that is Pompey, Crassus, and Julius Caesar, those three were the first to form the first triumvirate in Rome. They ruled over different regions as military generals. What happened? All these three, they ruled over the different regions or on the different places as what? As military generals. Now let us study about Julius Caesar. With the death of Crassus, rivalry for power grew between Pompey and Caesar. See what happened actually after the death of Crassus, that is among the three, after the death of Crassus, there was a lot of rivalry, or there was a lot of enmity between Pompey and Julius Caesar for what? For the power. And in the war which followed, Pompey was murdered by Caesar. See, because there was a lot of enmity between Pompey and Caesar, Pompey was murdered by Caesar in the war. He defeated Egypt and fell in love with the beautiful Egyptian queen Cleopatra. See, Caesar, what he did? He defeated Egypt, and later what happened? He fell in love with a beautiful Egyptian queen. Her name is Cleopatra. He made himself a dictator and abolished the Republic of Rome. See what he did? He declared himself as the dictator and established all the Republic of Rome. Or he abolished actually what he did? He abolished all the Republic of Rome. However, taking this move as an excuse, he was assassinated by his enemies. As he abolished all the Republic of Rome, people of Rome took this as an excuse and he was murdered by his enemies. Agriculture, industry and trade flourished during the period of Caesar. See what happened? Agriculture, industry and trade, they grown during the period of this Caesar. Julian calendar was introduced, and then Augustus Caesar continued the works of Caesar. Who continued the works of Caesar? Augustus Caesar. She continued the works of Caesar. Now let us study about Augustus Caesar. Augustus Caesar first name was Octavius. See what was the first name of Augustus Caesar? Her first name was Octavius. Mark Antony, Lepidus and Octavius formed the second triumvirate. As Pompey, Crassus and Julian Caesar, they were the first three to unite together and work. Like that, Mark Antony, Lepidus and Octavius, they were the second to unite together and rule. Octavius shared power with Mark Antony by driving away Lepidus and finally defeated Antony. See, Octavius, what she did? She shared her power with Mark Antony by driving away Lepidus and finally she defeated Antony. Octavius became Octavius became the most powerful man in the Roman Empire. What happened later? Octavius, he became the most powerful man in the Roman Empire. His period is known as the Golden Age of Roman Empire. Octavius' period is known as the Golden Period of Roman Empire. He introduced many social reforms and the rule was peaceful. Why it is called as peaceful? It is called as golden because he introduced many social reformers and it was very peaceful during his rule, which was called Roman peace. Because of the peacefulness he maintained, it is called as Roman peace. Naturally, economic and cultural progress was achieved. In the rule of Octavius, what was achieved? Economic and cultural progress was achieved. Next comes success of Augustus. The successors of Augustus were incompetent. They were not capable. They were defeated by the tribal invaders, resulting in the decline of Roman Empire. See, after Augustus, so many kings came. They were not so successful. They were not so strong. They were defeated by the tribal invaders, and hence what happened? Roman Empire declined. Now let us study few of the contributions of Roman Empire. Romans made great contribution to the literary world. What happened actually? Romans, they gave lot of contribution to which world? To the literary world. Virgil was a great poet and wrote an epic, and it's a Virgil, he was a very great poet. He wrote an epic in the sense a very long poem. What was its name? Its name was Aeneid. Ovid was another great poet. Cicero and Plautus were great literary figures. See, Cicero and Plautus, they were the great literary figures. Julius Caesar himself was a good historian. Julius Caesar, about whom we have studied previously, he himself was a great historian. Cato, Cicero, Seneca were famous philosophers. These were three famous philosophers. They advocated peaceful coexistence with nature. What they advocated? They advocated peaceful coexistence with nature. The Colosseum and amphitheater are the best example of Roman architecture. Roman architecture is well exhibited by two buildings. What are they? They are Colosseum and amphitheater. Cupid statue and Arapacius sculptures are the best example of the art of sculpturing. That is, which are the two best examples of art of sculpturing? They are Cupid statue and Arapacius sculptures. Romans had a deep knowledge in science and mathematics. See, apart from this literature, sculpture and all, Romans, they also had deep knowledge in what? In science and mathematics. Pliny wrote the encyclopedia known as natural history. See, Pliny, he wrote an encyclopedia, a book about what is its name, known as natural history. Galen was a famous surgeon, and Strabo and Ptolemy were famous geologists. Roman law served as the basis for the future laws. See, Roman law, it served as the base for the further future laws. Latin was the language of the Roman Empire. What was the language of Roman Empire? Latin, it was the language of the Roman Empire. Even today, the words from Latin are used in science, law and other branches of knowledge. We all know till today the Latin words are used in science, law and also in the other branches of knowledge. So that was the contribution of Roman civilization. Now let us study about Harappan civilization. Indian history was studied from the period of Vedas till the last century. Indian history, it is studied since the period of Vedas up to the last century. Dayaram Sani and Rakaldas Banerjee excavated the sites of Harappa and Mohenjo-daro in the present Pakistan. See, what actually happened is Dayaram Sani and Rakaldas Banerjee, they digged, they found and they collected all the remains of these Harappa and Mohenjo-daro in which place, that is in the present Pakistan. This discovery at once pushed back the history of India by at least 2000 years earlier in Vedas. This search led us where? To a history back to 2000 years early to this Vedas. It was called the Indus Valley Civilization because some of its important sites which were excavated first are located in the valley of river Indus and its tributary. Harappan civilization was called as Indus Valley Civilization. Why was it called as Indus Valley Civilization? Because the remains of this civilization or the remaining parts of this civilization were first found in the valley of river Indus and its tributaries. During the research, as many as 1500 sites have been found belonging to this civilization. See, almost during the research they found that almost 1500 sites belonged to this civilization. Hence, it is understood that this civilization was present beyond river Sindhu plains too. By finding all these remainings and digging all this, they realized or they understood that the civilization was present beyond river Sindhu plains also. Harappan civilization has been spread over 13 lakh square kilometers. See, Harappan civilization, it was spread up to what extent? It was spread up to 13 lakh square kilometers. This stretches up to Mand of Kashmir in north, Sukendraj of Balusizang in west, Alangirpur of Uttar Pradesh in east and Daimabad of Maharashtra in south. These are the four we see. In the east it's been spread, in the north, in the west and in the south it was spread up to 13 lakh square kilometers. Hence now instead of calling this as Indus Valley civilization, it is called Harappan civilization, where it was found first. Because of its such vast stretching, instead of calling it as Indus Valley civilization, it is called as Harappan civilization. Why they chose to call it as Harappan civilization? Because this Indus Valley civilization was first found in this place called Harappa, and that is why it is called as Harappan civilization. Many cities of Harappan civilization have been found. Among them, let us study which are those cities. They are Harappa and Mohenjo-daro in Pakistan, and then Kalibangan, that is in Rajasthan, Dholavira, Lothal, that is Gujarat, and Rakhighari, that is Haryana in India. They are the prominent cities of this Harappan civilization. We can find those here in the map. Next, city planning. How the planning of city was done in the Harappan civilization. The cities of Harappan civilization were well planned. They were protected by forts. See how were the cities protected? They were protected by big huge forts. Wide roads, public wells, multi-storied buildings and well-planned drainage system are the important features of Harappan cities. See, those plannings which we find in this modern time now were already been found in that Harappan civilization. What all? That is wide roads, public wells, multi-storied buildings, that is buildings having more than one storage, multi-storied buildings and well-planned drainage system are the important features of Harappan cities. The drainage system is a great achievement of our ancestors. What is the actually the well planned drainage system? That is the biggest achievement our ancestors have done. The importance was given to cleanliness and public health is a model for the present. See, those people at that time, they gave lot of importance to what? For cleanliness and also for public health. This should be an example for us, for the people of modern present. The system of town planning cannot be found elsewhere in the ancient civilization. This system of planning cannot be found in any other civilization, in the history of any other civilization like this in this Harappan civilization. In Mohenjo-daro, a great tank of public bath, now called the Great Bath, was found. See, we all know this. In Mohenjo-daro, there is a great tank for public bath. Now it is called as what? Great Bath. That was being found during that Harappan civilization. There are rooms on all sides. See, to that huge public bath, there are rooms on all the sides. 6 large granaries and the quarters for laborers are found in Harappan cities. 6 large granaries as well as almost 1/4 of laborers are found in that Harappan cities. Lothal was a popular harbour in those days. Which was the popular harbour in those days? Lothal, that was the very popular harbour on those days. Now let us study about economic life in the Harappan civilization. That is, the weaving of cotton and woolen cloths were one of their main occupations. See, weaving of cotton and woolen cloths, that was the main occupation of Harappan civilization. The production of baked bricks, that is the bricks which were being baked, which were being burnt in the fire, such type of bricks were being found in that. That was another occupation. They did animal husbandry. They also did the work of animal husbandry. Cattle, goats, pigs, cats, dogs, camels and donkeys were usually reared. All these animals were also reared during that civilization. The credit for growing cotton for the first time goes to India. That is, cotton was first grown by India and the credit goes to the people of India. Greeks called it Sindhun as it was produced in the Indus Valley. The cotton was called as Sindhun by the people of Greek. Why? Because it was produced in the Indus Valley. Harappans had trade relationship with Mesopotamians. What happened? Harappans, they had the trade relationship with whom? They had the trade relationship with Mesopotamians. They called this civilization as Melia. See, these people called this civilization as what? Melia. They carried out trade activities through the Lothal port in the Arabian Sea. How were the trade activities taken out? The trade activities were taken through the Lothal port in the Arabian Sea. Now let us move to the social life of this Harappan civilization. How people had that social life. Both men and women were found of decorating themselves. See, now generally we find women decorating themselves, but during that Harappan civilization, both men and women were found decorating themselves. The women used some of ornaments like necklace, fillets, armlets, finger rings, bangle, earrings and nose studs. See, these all were the things women wore. That is, they wore necklace, fillets, armlets, anklets, finger rings, bangles, earrings and nose studs. These were all the ornaments used by the women in that civilization. They were using cosmetics and knew the use of perfume also. Cosmetic is not used, started using very recently. See, those women in that civilization also used cosmetics and they were also knowing the use of perfume. Marbles, balls and dice were their sports. What were their sports? Marbles, balls and dice. Bullfighting was their major entertainment. What was the major entertainment during that civilization? Bullfighting was their major entertainment. Toys depicting bullock carts were there for the children along with dolls. See, toys of bullock carts and all were given for playing of children were given along with the dolls. Let us study about the art of this Harappan civilization. Small idols of mother goddess made of clay have been found in large numbers. See, small idols of mother goddess made up of clay is being found majorly, is found in more numbers. More than 2000 terracotta seals have been found. See, nearly more than 2000 terracotta seals have been found. A dancing girl's figurine statue and beard man's stone idol are the beautiful artifacts that have been found. See, what are the two beautiful arts that we have found? A dancing girl's figure statue, a statue like a girl is dancing, and a beard man, it's a stone idol. They are the most beautiful artifacts. Next, about religion. People worshipped Pashupati, that is Shiva. People there worshipped Shiva, mother goddess. People and neem trees, sun, fire, earth, water and snakes were also worshipped along with Shiva. People and neem trees were being worshipped. Sun, fire, earth, water and snake, they are also worshipped by the people of this Harappan civilization. Fire pits are found in Kalibangan and Lothal, which is the proof of fire rituals. See, like we find huge pits of fire are found, which show that there is found in Kalibangan and Lothal, which is the proof that the people followed this fire rituals. Let us study about the script. Harappan had developed their own unique script and language. The scholars have been trying hard to understand the writings on the seals, but in vain. Actually, what happened is Harappan civilization, or the people of Harappans, they followed their own script, their own seals. Till now, people are trying to understand their scripts and seals, but is of no use because it is not able to understand. Let us study about the decline of cities. Why cities declined? Let us study now. The cities of Harappan civilization began to disintegrate and gradually the entire civilization disappeared. What happened? They started disintegrating, and as a result what happened? This civilization started disappearing. There are many causes of its decline. Let us study those causes one by one. The floods at regular intervals in Indus and its tributaries. What is the one reason of decline? The floods came again and again in Indus and in its tributaries. And one more reason is the overuse of wood for burning bricks that destroyed the forest, which necessitated in their emigration. They overused wood for the purpose of burning bricks. As the overuse happened, there was the decline of a forest, and as there was no forest left, the people started migrating. This is one of the reasons why the Harappans declined. The Aryan who came from outside would have attacked them. See, the Aryans, the another race who came from outside, they started attacking. The spread of infectious diseases. Infectious diseases also started spreading. These are the few reasons why this Harappan civilization got declined. All the above reasons might have been the cause for the disappearance of this great civilization. The historians are of the opinion that the spectacular town planning and the vision of our ancestors are the models to the present. See, What are telling that the historians, they are of the opinion, what opinion they have, the beautiful, the way, the excellent way of planning and vision of our ancestors should be the model for us, for the people of present. This is how the Harappan civilization might have been declined. So students, in this session we have studied about Greek civilization, Roman civilization and Harappan civilization. I hope you all have followed this. Eat healthy and stay safe. Thank you.